We continue in the laws of Sanhedrin, a high court or courts of justice. We are in chapter 16. So just as it's a mitzvah to execute a person who is obligated to be executed, as Rambam said yesterday, that if a court executed once in 7 years, that was a bloody court. That's how seldom someone was executed, especially the way we learned the laws on how we, it's so difficult to do. Okay, so too, it's a positive commandment to give lashes to a person who's obligated to receive lashes. It says in the verse, and the judge shall cause him to fall, and he will him beaten in his presence. Although transgression punishable by lashes are adjudicated by 3 judges, lashes are equivalent to execution. Equivalent meaning it's not execution, right? And it's not a way of executing. You're not executing the person, right? Meaning here that it's adjudicated. Well, here it's well. Let's see. The Rambam will speak. Lashes are administered in the present age in any place according to scriptural law in the presence of 3 judges who are given smicha. And as we learned, no one has smicha today. That is all the way back, connecting all the way back to Moses and Mount Sinai. The punishment is not, however, administered in the presence of 3 ordinary people. All the lashes that are administered by the judges of the diaspora in every place are stripes for rebellious conduct, which means it's rabbinic lashes as opposed to biblical lashes. Okay. A person who is not punished by lashes, unless his transgression is observed by witness, is not punished by, right, is only observed. Okay, and this is where there's a similarity between it and a death sentence. There has to be witnesses and administered a warning to him. The witnesses are questioned and cross-examined in the same manner in the cases of involving capital punishment, right? In other words, it's a very intense interrogation on the witnesses. The following laws apply when a person transgresses a negative command that can be corrected by a positive commandment. Before the transgressor violates a negative commandment, witnesses must administer a warning telling him, do not perform this activity. If you perform it and do not fulfill the positive commandment associated with it, you will receive lashes. If after receiving such a warning, the transgressor violates the commandment and does not fulfill the positive commandment, he receives lashes. Although the warning involved uncertainty if he fulfills the positive commandment, he is released unpunished, and an uncertain warning is considered as a warning. So the point over here is like this. We're going to see examples, I think. I can't remember now the example. Like if I don't remember. So hopefully we should have the example. In other words, you can fix what you did wrong by the prohibition by fulfilling the positive commandment that comes thereafter. Then you won't get lashes because there's a way to fix it. But if you only have a negative commandment, then you would get lashes with the witnesses and the warning. Now here he gave an instance that where there is the positive command, but you didn't fulfill that. So since you were warned about that and you didn't fulfill the positive commandment after, in other words, to fix the negative commandment, then you would get lashes. Following rules apply when a person performs a prohibited act that is punishable both by lashes and execution by the court. He slaughtered an animal and its offspring in the same day as the sacrifice that false divinity. Oh, right. So you're not allowed to slaughter an animal and its offspring on the same day. That's a negative commandment, right? And you would get lashes for that if you did that. If you got warned, if you were warned, right? And also didn't explain here, but we I think we'll explain later more detail. you have to acknowledge that it is punishable by lashes, that you recognize that what you're doing, right? If you didn't acknowledge, then you wouldn't get the lashes, right? So, so you acknowledged it, but at the same time, you use that animal to serve a false god, which for that you can get execution, right? For idolatry. So if he was warned and that his act is punishable for by execution, and he's stoned to death, and he's not given lashes, for he is obligated to more severe judgment. So you get the more severe judgment, right? And in other words, you don't get both. If he was given a warning only for lashes, he receives lashes, right? If he only was given a warning for that. Okay. There's no need for the two witnesses who will obligate a person for lashes to observe other than at the time that the transgression is committed, the prohibition itself. By contrast, can be established on the prohibition itself, by contrast, can be established on the basis of one witness. What's implied? One witness said, this substance is fat from the kidneys. Or these grapes were grown together with grain in a vineyard, right? That's a both are prohibitions, not allowed to eat them. A woman is a divorcee or a zayna, right? And you can't marry her, right? If the person partook of the food or had relations with these women after he was warned, he receives lashes, despite the fact that the essence of prohibition was established by one witness, right? In other words, the fact that, that this is fat from a kidney that you're not allowed to eat, there are certain fats from the animal you're not allowed to eat, is only one witness said that. Two witnesses told him not to eat it, right? But the fact that we know that this is a prohibition is from one witness. That's okay. When does the above apply? When he did not contradict the witness, when he established the prohibition. If, however, he said, this is not fat. So let's say the guy said, he's being warned, or he's being told that this is fat from the kidney, you're not allowed to eat it. And he says it's not fat. Or she's not a divorcee. And then he partook of the food, or had relations with the woman after his denial. He does not receive lashes until prohibition was established through the testimony of two witnesses. Yeah. In other words, because one witness, it's one against one. If you have two witnesses that's saying that this is fat, that you're not allowed to eat, then the fact that he says it's not is negated, because Torah tells us two witnesses create the reality, right? At least in judgment of a court. Okay, we're going to stop over here.